Hey folks, an interesting development out of the United Kingdom where Naledi Pandor, the former foreign minister of South Africa and an enthusiastic supporter of terrorists, was due to give an address at an event at the Cambridge Center for Palestine Studies on Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, had been urged to bar Pandor, who has endorsed Hamas, from speaking at the event in Britain over the weekend. Now, among those urging her ban, Lord Walney, a former advisor to the government on political violence, who said this woman's views are incendiary and vile. She must not be allowed into the United Kingdom by the Home Secretary. Chris Philip, the shadow Home Secretary, said this dangerous extremist should be banned from entering the United Kingdom, supporting Hamas in the terrorist murders, rapes, and kidnaps perpetrated on October 7th is sick. We don't want even more people in the UK radicalized by this dangerous nonsense. If I were Home Secretary, I would ban Naledi Pandor from entering the United Kingdom, and if Shabana Mahmood has any backbone, she will do the same. Russell Longer, the Director of Public Affairs of the Jewish Leadership Council, said, "In this country, we rightly reject those who associate themselves with Hamas and their murderous rampage on October 7th. Now, the former Member of Parliament for the African National Congress from 1994 to 2004, basically never accomplished anything, just sat in Parliament, previously said that Muslims were permitted to engage in jihad when necessary and stated on camera that armed struggle may become a necessity. Ms. Pandor is also photographed in a conversation with senior Hamas officials in Johannesburg and telephoned Ismail Haniyeh, the late Hamas leader, the day after the October 7th attacks carried out by the terrorist group. The Hamas Political Bureau later issued a communique thanking her for expressing solidarity with what they called the Al-Aqsa flood battle. Now, that's their code name for the coordinated attacks that killed nearly 1,200 people in Israel: Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, black, brown, and white people, overwhelmingly civilians. Many of the women savagely gang raped, breast removed, and then executed. Over 200 plus people kidnapped and taken back to live in fear in the tunnels under these terrorists. These are the people that Naledi Pandor supports and did so openly as the foreign minister. When the ANC falsely claims that they've done nothing to harm the United States, when the fake media and the French press agency, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and all South African media outlets lie about the nature of the relationship between the United States and claim that it's all about Trump, they neglect to mention the egregious actions that the South African government under the African National Congress have taken against the United States, its friends, partners, and allies. And this is an example. You can add to this, of course, the South African's defense chief going to Tehran to pledge his fealty to the Iranian terrorist regime. You can also add to it the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps terrorist designated naval vessel arriving in Cape Town for an exercise which the South African government tried to blame on the Chinese, but it's their sovereign waters. They decide who goes there. As they so brightly pointed out over this past weekend on Human Rights Day, we are a sovereign nation. People don't impinge on our rights, which means you knew full well that you were bringing terrorists to South Africa to participate in a naval drill with yourselves, the Chinese and the Russians. So, which is it? You had no say, it was up to the Chinese, or you welcomed the terrorists with open arms? Well, the ANC welcomed the terrorists with open arms, and now their friends in Tehran are on the verge of collapse. South Africa's friends, I should say, are falling domino by domino. Nicholas Maduro extradited to the United States for criminal charges for drug trafficking. Iran, the regime is collapsing. That leaves Beijing, Russia, and Brazil as their friends. Brazil will soon find itself also isolated for its actions against their former president and the trumped-up charges against him, imprisoning the former president, being imprisoned by a convicted felon. The irony, isn't it funny? Ladies and gentlemen, Naledi Pandor. Was she banned? I've seen no updates. I can find no information whether she was banned. But the United Kingdom, Home Secretary under pressure to ban this terror-loving sponsor of state terrorism, Naledi Pandor, who was the foreign minister of South Africa and a member of parliament for 30 years. It tells you all you need to know about what's going on in South Africa. And when the media lies to you about, well, we've done nothing to harm the United States, it's poppycock. Here's your proof right here. Naledi Pandor. Cheers.